Last week on the show. Previously on the show. Way back in 2007, we were introduced to the trailer for a movie that didn't even give its title out and would go on to become one of the most secretive movies in Hollywood history, redefining viral marketing. And that movie was Cloverfield.
Today on the show.
Today on the show. Today on the show. Good morning, Scallywag.
Are you really going to do this again?
Yeah, well, it's part 3. I've done parts 1 and 2, so I got to do part 3.
Okay.
I know you're excited about it.
No, that's okay.
So, are you going to get up and clean and stuff while
No.
I'm doing this again?
No. The house is clean. The Chalky Milk Studio looks good.
You got your kitty headphones, I see.
Yeah, I'm going to... Hey, don't knock the kitty headphones, man. This sound quality is amazing.
Okay, well, great. Well, you do that then.
I am. I'm going to go and...
So, to wrap this up, well, not exactly wrapping it up, because part 4 will be out in October, so we'll be doing this again at some point. But I'm going to be talking about the Cloverfield Paradox today to wrap up the current 3. If you guys haven't seen parts 1 and 2, watch last Tuesday and then the 2 Tuesdays before that, because it was con, and then yeah. So anyway, the ARG for Cloverfield Paradox was very, very short, especially compared to the other 2. If you watched last week's episode, you'll see just how extensive 10 Cloverfield Lane went. This one lasted for all of about two weeks, and all of about 2 weeks. So basically, it started in January it started in January the 18th, and it ended on February the 4th. Just to tell you how short the whole thing was. Technically, the ARG for this started back in last summer. Now, if you were out at, say, San Diego Comic-Con or one of those other cons like that, the Slusho truck, a real Slusho truck, actually started showing up to some of these conventions. Now, they actually did set up a Twitter account at Slusho Truck, where they were going to be announcing where they were. They were giving out real Slusho and also giving out a puzzle. Now, if you had actually finished the puzzle or completed the puzzle, then it would actually give out a package basically saying that at some point in time you were going to receive a package in the mail. Now, one thing of note here is that all of the cities that the Slusho truck was appearing in were places that had major energy stations. So, like, there was one that had a nuclear power plant, hydropower plants, things like that. All of the cities they showed up in had these things, and they were showing up at these different conventions in different places like that. So that's point number 1. Then we fast forward up to January 18th to be exact, the 10-year anniversary of the original Cloverfield movie, when suddenly Tagarato's website pops up with an error message. And it's showing something in the background. It basically it's the error message is very generic, just kind of saying, the site is experiencing difficulties, check back again later. But there was something that was behind it that was really difficult to make out. However, some people were able to finally make that out, and it was kind of a pamphlet-looking type of deal. Would show up later. But don't look at me. Just watch your YouTube. Yeah. So it said Tokyo, 2018. Tagarato has begun development on a revolutionary new energy technology in what CEO Geno Yoshida calls a technological great leap forward for our planet. This renewable technology will take at least 4 years to complete, along with another 6 years. That's worded weird. International regulatory bodies to bring the powerful revolutionary energy source by April 18th, 2028. Now, we knew that the next movie, at the time we were thinking that it was going to be called either God Particle or Cloverfield Station, that it would be taking place somewhere in the future. So, much like the 1/18/08 website that popped up for the original Cloverfield, some people went looking for 4/18/2028 for this one, and sure enough, there's a video there. Pretty much just a scrambled screen at this point in time, but they did notice two frames through the entire video that a face popped up on screen. We couldn't tell who it was. We couldn't tell what it was in reference to. We couldn't tell anything about it. Just that there was a smiling face, or what looked like a smiling face in one picture, and another face that popped up in another picture. So, the very next day, Let's see, we had, it was mentioned, that's when we found that website that was found in the message, similar to the 11808.com URL. This is proven to be in-game. On site is the 11-second video, consists of 300 plus frames with grids, distorted images, and even a man that was found in 2 clips. Now, in those clips, when the video updated, we were able to make out the words, "This is why I'm trying to warn you about the dangers of what Tagaratu is trying to do." Okay? 1 sentence. Meanwhile, Tagaratu updates with the error message changing slightly in the background, becoming blurrier. Additionally, a new archive menu link appears in the right top of the page, which was not there in previous ARGs. Okay? Fast forward to the 23rd, and Tagaratu updates to revert to the familiar splash screen for language selection. However, selecting any of the languages pops up the error message, attempting to resolve technical difficulties, try again shortly. The next day, the 24th of January, 4/18/2028 updates again with a new video. There's a slightly different frames of the same person as in the original video, but the audio appears to an excerpt from the beginning of an interview. We hear the words, "Welcome to the show, Cloverfield Station, joining us today, controversy, Mark Stambler, author of the book," and that's all we can make out from it. Now, that's where we bring up that name Stambler. If you remember back in 10 Cloverfield Lane, Howard Stambler was the main character, played by John Goodman. Well, now we're interviewing a guy named Mark Stambler. Are they related? Are they brothers? We don't know. Meanwhile, Tagaratu updates and reverts back to the glitchy appearance from before with a different error message in the foreground and a distorted press release in the background. The archive menu link on the top right becomes clearer and highlighted. The error message says, just kind of some gibberish there, but it also says the word expected on there. The press release is partially transcribed as Oslo, January 22nd, 2022. Exciting new agreement between the Tagaratu Corporation, Norway Tagaratu, Renewable Energy, Cloverfield Energy, Oslo, One and Norway Renewable remains for its energy revolution, activated April 18, 2028. New orders added at record pace. Tagaratu Corporation announcement, Sao Paulo Hydroelectric. So just, partial sentences and things, they are broken down. But the important thing to note here is that article was showing up from 2022. So it starts to become apparent that whatever is affecting Tagaratu's website is happening in the future. We're starting to see articles and things from the future, which is very strange. But again, the movie takes place in the future there, which would explain that. And once you actually know what the movie is about, then it kind of makes sense. January 27th, Tagaratu updates once again with a new image showing a burned pamphlet about Tagaratu's Cloverfield Energy Initiative. Handwritten on the top of the pamphlet is a message seemingly written by a member of Tidal Wave, which we haven't seen Tidal Wave since back in the original Cloverfield movie. It says, "Someone needs to stop this from happening. This is nothing but a cover for a reckless experiment that will reset the world's grid. Stop this to save the world, Tidal Wave." Meanwhile, people who solved their slush show puzzle back at Comic-Con, they started getting their packages in the mail. Now, inside the package, they would receive an actual pamphlet about the Cloverfield Energy Initiative, as well as some updates on things from like Yoshida Medical and Bull-Futura, things like that. They received a bobblehead from Slush Show, which that actual bobblehead was seen in the movie. They would also receive a certificate of authenticity and just a couple of little things other than that. It's fun to know that exact bobblehead that they received was in the movie Cloverfield Paradox. Now, as far as the certificate of authenticity, it does mention on there, it says caution, no sudden movement, which strange. So we don't know what that's all about, except for the fact that it had Cloverfield or Slush Show stuff inside. But I'm stuttering. Anyway, the Cloverfield Energy Initiative, it mentions brought to you by the Future Energy Development Committee, shared energy for a shared world, blah 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 blah. So basically, what it boils down to is in the movie, the world is in an energy crisis. So back in 2018, so this year, Tagaratu created the Cloverfield Energy Initiative. Now, what the belief is, and this is not an official part of the ARG, but because of the slush show being around all those different power stations and them making this and everybody saying, oh, it's a lie and beware of this and all this. Basically, the theory is that Tagerato has actually been suctioning the power grid. So sucking all the power away from everybody in the world so that they can create this Cloverfield Energy Initiative so that they can now provide energy to everyone under one umbrella type thing. So now they basically, you control the power, you control the world. Kind of thing. Long story short there. So, 4/18/2028 also updates a new video with clearer audio and a consistent images of the person seen in the previous two videos. A partial transcript says, your thoughts, Professor Mark Stambler? Mark Stambler says, because of Tagerato, everything that happened, I was right. CEI was a lie. Just like I predicted in my book, The Clover, and cuts off there. Fast forward to the 30th of January. That site updates yet again. There appears to be a recording of someone talking about a social media hoax and potentially providing a clue to a physical location. Partial transcripts says, this is a social media hoax, social medium, my email. Why does this have to happen again? 3rd floor by the lamp. Now, this would be when the Twitter account at the Mark Stambler appears, and it updates with a new tweet that appears to confirm that is in game. The account previously tweeted about a hoax and notifying university police, as well as the videos look like him but are not real. The original tweet mentioned university before the 27th of January video update in which Mark Stambler was referred to as a professor for the first time. The latest tweet references the lamp mentioned in the video and gives a clue to the location. He says, I don't know who you are or what you want, but the only way you could know about the lamp is if you're watching me. I've notified NYPD last morning. Leave me alone. Considering the timing of the tweet mentions the university and hoax before the relevant video updates and the subsequent Slusho truck update mentioned below, it is thought that this Twitter account is in game. Mark Stambler is likely a physics professor at a New York area university. Minutes after the tweet, okay, after he tweeted that, the Slush Show Twitter that ran the Slush Show truck promotion last year tweets that it will begin an East Coast tour, providing further evidence that the New York location hinted at by the Mark Stambler is correct and the Twitter account is in game. Tagerato updates with a new error message in the foreground and a new document in the background. The error message is a line of code indicating a loop that runs 10 times through, but doesn't seem to have any meaning. Okay. The document, however, very strange on this one, has Hebrew characters, and it's from a newspaper. It's got a picture of a road, as well as handwritten comments by Tidal Wave again. Partial transcript of the handwritten comments says Tagerato's real reason to steal the rest of the world's energy. They've spent 20 years something to open it. Not worth the cost to the world. Tidal Wave. Now, the year 2007 and the number 30 appears on the document as well. So this might actually, it's basically showing you about a road closure due to an accident that happened back in 2007. So we're now back in the past all of a sudden, which is very strange. There have been people trying to translate the Hebrew in the document. They say the document appears to be about a temporary road closure of Highway 90 near the Dead Sea on January 30th, 2007, which is very strange. So to January 31st, Slusha Truck tweets again about its first stop on the East Coast tour. February 1st, Mark Stambler begins to message some users on Twitter. Now, this is where things start to heat up a little bit. In each case, he talks about needing help, but stops communicating after expressing concerns and needing time to think. Now, the message to some users on Twitter, what he was basically sending out, he's sending out videos of people that had been contacting him. Meanwhile, Slusho also mentions this next stop on the tour, which is in New Jersey. So he continues to message people on the 2nd of February, providing recordings of previously unseen videos that are similar to those seen on the 4/18/2028.com, but featuring a new person.
Yeah.
The first video was received by Film Guy 88. Mark Stambler also said that senders of the video told him that the video would show him what to write. The second video, Mark Stambler gave the same message about the senders of the video. The third video was received by someone named Kat, is identical to the one received by X Infinity, which was the second video, by the way. Basically, these are videos that are supposedly from the future, telling him what to write in his book about what happened, which would be the book, The Cloverfield Paradox. So what does this all mean? The next day on the 4th, the movie was released, and they 4/18/2028 updates with a new video in which the interviewee from the previous videos displays his new book, The Cloverfield Paradox, as well. So what does this all mean? Very short, just a lot of detailed information on this one, but all very short over the course of 2 weeks. Basically, when you break down to it, Mark Stambler wrote a book called The Cloverfield Paradox that was written through information that he supposedly received from the future, from the people that were actually on the Cloverfield station, otherwise known as the Shepherd, if you've seen the movie, where setting off the God particle, basically, they created a rift in space-time that created all these different worlds, all these different universes. He basically says that, you know, this will bring monsters and demons and all sorts of stuff, not only through different universes, but through all of time itself. That's why 2008 we see a monster in New York. 2016 we see aliens showing up, doing all this stuff. And that's why now we've got a bigger version of the Cloverfield monster, and maybe even more than one, because he says these things there at the end. But what it really boils down to is that Tagerato screwed up, did all these things. This guy wrote a book, didn't want it to be right, but it was. And I actually had another point that I was going to make there, and I totally forgot what it was. So, but anyway, guys, as far as getting into theories and things about how the movie's actually tied together, there's a lot to that. But there's tons of videos out there that talk about that stuff. But this is basically just an update on the ARG itself. So go and look that stuff up, because it's rather interesting, and it's very fascinating to see where it's going to go to.
You finally done? You done?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I missed it all again?
Yeah, I know. Shame, right?
Oh well. Hey!
Godzilla sucks. So hey, make sure you guys check us out on all of our social media platforms. That's the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter.
I don't need this. I'm putting my kitty headphones back on, and I'm going back to my own private world. Good day, sir. Yeah. I said good day.
Yeah. While you're on Facebook, make sure you message us about ordering one of these things here. The show, the T-shirt, that their tweet sleeve 22 for the long, or you can get yourself one of the hoodies for 25. Just shoot us a private message letting us know what size you need, what colors you'd like, all that good stuff. And while you're here on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. So
we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
This is Lady Bowser. I am Baroness Von T Cosplay, and this is your Russian clip of the day.
Сейчас, подождите, это нормально, там иногда можно, так сказать, промахнуться, потому что я уже давно не пользовался этим броском. Ух ты, блин, опять промахнулся.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and if you liked what you see, go ahead and click on our faces to go ahead and subscribe to get all of our Monday through Friday stuff.
Indeed, and here's a couple of links down below that you can follow to watch more shows like it. Tons of great content right here at Scallywag Productions. We'll see you tomorrow.